Adriana is here with us in studio. Please welcome her to the show, Tam Thayer.
Thank you.
Obviously, watching this, it's all fresh, it's all new, and you have to relive it over and over. So thank you.
Thank you.
That night, you were talking to Manny. You were still, you were co-parenting together. No longer a couple, but still co-parenting. And the kids would stay with you, they would stay with him. Nothing unusual. The night that you said no, take me to that conversation. Because do you think it was mother's intuition? What do you think it was?
I don't know at this point what it was exactly. I call it a miracle, but I just had this feeling to spend that night with Santi. I said, Manny, why you don't bring Santi? I know it's a long way from the park where they were playing baseball to my house in Aventura, but just bring me the kid. And he said, okay, no problem.
So, because it would have been easier for Santi to stay at Manny's. They were close to Manny's apartment. So most people would say, listen, we're already next to the place. Why drive him all the way over there? But Manny said, okay.
He said, okay, without a doubt.
Did that strike you as unusual? Would he normally have said, oh, no, I mean,
he normally will say, I'm not your Uber. Because, yes, traffic is nasty. Like, he was tired, I was tired. I was doing shopping with my daughter at the mall. And I remember exactly the phone call. And I remember the feeling that I had, that I just wanted to have Santi with me that night. That was my feeling.
It was an overwhelming feeling. You wanted him home.
Yes, that's why I remember it so clearly. So even though in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, from my mouth came out a no, like very straight, no money.
You got a call, I think it was around 3:30 in the morning, from Manny's sister. She lived in California, and she'd been watching the breaking news. All of us, I mean, I think everybody in here remembers that news. You see that, you can't believe what's in front of you. Yeah. And Manny's sister told you that it was his building and to turn on the television?
Yes, I received that phone call at 3:30 in the morning. And she said, Adriana, I saw a breaking news here in California. It says that the building collapsed, Manny's building. But at that point, I didn't understand what was collapse mean exactly in English. So I said, don't worry. I know they're going to fix it. Manny's okay. But she was so scared and her voice was so different. So I said, you know something? I'm going to go. I'm going to double check. When I get there.
Oh, you decided not to just call. You went over to check.
I went over, yes. I went over. And when I was getting there, I saw so many ambulance and police cars, and really I got scared at that point. So one policeman said, okay, you need to go where their survivors are. So that was my first shocking moment. So when I get there, one of the survivors says, where are the kids? Where are the kids? So I said, they're with me. And
because people knew that many nights the kids would stay over at Manny's.
Yeah, normally we share custody, so it was usual that for the kids to be there also. So, but the people didn't know. My sister-in-law called me, where are the kids? The first thing that they were asking was about the kids. So when I get there and they said, I'm so sorry, I'm sure Manny didn't make it, I got upset. And I said, what are you talking about? And they showed me a picture and they said, okay, this part of the building doesn't exist anymore. So, but I couldn't understand, I couldn't process that information in my mind. So I decided to jump the fence and go walking by the sand walk. And you know every single shape of the buildings that are next to each other. It was very dark, and I started walking, and one in the sudden I saw one building, the other building, and then I saw the sky.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm missing this. Something is wrong. So I turned my face down, and I saw, the disasters. I saw the walls were in the ground, water coming out everywhere. dust. Was horrible. At that point, I lost my strength in my legs, and I fell to the ground.
Wow.
And I started praying and screaming and crying because you
knew.
want to go there and take out your loved ones. You know, it was a horrible scene.
But what you saw when you got there was total destruction and no chance, potentially, that anyone could have survived that. Adriana, Manny's body was found the next day by rescue workers. When I was reading over your story, I thought, how did it feel? How must it have felt to have the grief of losing someone you loved, but the relief of not having your son be there that night? I don't know how I would have been able to reconcile that emotional roller coaster. On one hand, you're thanking God, he's okay. On the other hand, you're asking God, why?
Yeah, it has been very hard for me to understand all this. I mean, in the beginning, it's very hard to accept that the place that you trust the most, your house, your bed, is gonna disappear in the middle of the night. So it's hard to process. And when I think about my answer the night before, and that I have the blessing to have Santi next to me every single day, saying, Mommy, I love you, I adore you. For me, it's a miracle. So
Does he understand that that night saved his life?
Something funny. He said, Mommy, what are you going to talk today at the show? I said, about the miracle that I say no to you. And he was like, oh, that's all? So
well, he's a child, right? He doesn't understand.
So he doesn't understand like completely what that means.
What do you understand it to be?
For me, it's a second chance. You know, Manny was found the same day of my 42nd birthday. And I told to my daughter, I said, Mia, I will never celebrate my birthday anymore. Oh. So she looked at me and she said, no, Mommy, we're gonna celebrate it double because Papi gave us life, because this is what is want us to do, like celebrate. So for now on, I believe, even though it's gonna be very hard, we're gonna celebrate their life, Santi's life, and my life. So I'm glad for that, yes.
You wrote something on Facebook, which I think captures the essence of who Manny was and what he meant to you and your children. You wrote, thank you for giving me the best years of my life and for giving me these two treasures that today mourn the departure of the best father in the world. I miss you so much. I love you, Manny. You will forever be what you were, my husband and the best father I could ever give to my kids. Rest in peace and sleep forever with the little angels.
Yeah. I wrote that the first anniversary, the month anniversary, and I had all these feelings in my heart, and I just can't be thankful for all the things that he gave me. Of course, my kids were the first thing. So yeah, it was a very difficult time for the kids, for me, but I think Manny is looking at us above, and my kids are giving me every single day the strength and the force to keep going.
Well, you're a strong woman and an amazing mom, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.